Welcome to our journey into the mysterious and captivating world of King Tutankhamun and the legendary curse that has fascinated generations. From the moment Howard Carter and his team uncovered the young pharaoh's tomb in 1922, misfortune has swirled around those who dared disturb Tutankhamun's eternal rest. Hold on to your hats as we unravel the secrets of the Curse of King Tutankhamun. Number 1. King Tutankhamun. Born around 1341 BC, King Tutankhamun, better known as King Tut and the Boy King, ascended to the throne of Egypt at just 9 years old during the 18th dynasty of the New Kingdom. He was young, and people hoped he would be around for a while, but he was king for about 10 years before he kicked the bucket around 1323 BC. Tut's exact cause of death is a mystery, but theories range from disease to accidents or even murder, adding to the intrigue surrounding his short life. Some theories floated around that he might have been hit on the head, but a CT scan of his mummy told a different story. They found a serious leg fracture, which likely got infected and contributed to his death. Either way, the fact remains that he was a king of the Great Egypt, and if his tomb is anything to go by, he spent his short life rather comfortably. Number 2. King Tut's tomb. King Tutankhamun's tomb was discovered back in 1922 by British archaeologist Howard Carter and his team. Found in the Valley of the Kings, where Egypt's elites were laid to rest during the New Kingdom period, Tutankhamun's tomb was a big find. Unlike many other royal tombs of its time, Tut's final resting place had remained untouched for over 3,000 years, lying snug under layers of ancient debris. Picture this: archaeologists clearing away centuries-old rubble, revealing a hidden doorway that leads to a treasure trove of Egyptian history. Inside, a maze of chambers filled with beautiful artifacts and treasures untouched since the young king's burial. Number 3. Discovery of Tutankhamun's burial chamber. When Howard Carter and his team finally found Tutankhamun's burial chamber deep within the Valley of the Kings, they had to pinch themselves to make sure what they were seeing was real. The chamber somehow stayed perfectly intact for 3,000 years. Inside, there was the grand golden coffin of Tutankhamun, surrounded by intricate shrines lining all 4 walls. These shrines weren't just ornate decorations, they were covered in hieroglyphs, each telling a story of the pharaoh's journey to the afterlife. What stood out even more were the 2 small coffins of Tutankhamun's stillborn daughters. Guarding the entrance was a statue of Anubis, the ancient Egyptian god of the afterlife. Everything in the chamber was incredible in its own right, but the archaeologists, in their excitement, forgot that the ancient Egyptians believed in magic and curses, and they may very well have unleashed something sinister. Number 4. The Wrath of Anubis. When Carter's team opened the tomb's seal, they unwittingly unleashed a flurry of eerie events that sparked rumors of ancient curses. Legend has it that as the tomb's secrets were revealed, chaos struck Cairo. A sudden power outage plunged the city into darkness, and an unexpected sandstorm whipped through the streets. This fed into the narrative of the Wrath of Anubis, as if the ancient Egyptian god himself was upset that Tut's tomb was disturbed. These events, reported even by National Geographic, added fuel to the fire of the curse that plagued those who dared disturb Tutankhamun's sleep. Number 5. The Howl of Death. The legend of the pharaoh's curse gained traction with another eerie incident. Lord Carnarvon's faithful dog let out a chilling howl at the exact moment of the tomb's opening, and immediately after dropped down and never woke up. For some people, this only confirmed that there was in fact a curse, and that either Anubis or King Tut himself had something to do with it. Legend has it that later that same night, shadowy figures were moving among the ruins of ancient temples, their whispers echoing through the wind. Some even claim to have seen ghosts of long-dead pharaohs wandering the moonlit paths. Whether these sightings were products of overactive imaginations or something more otherworldly, they contributed to the chilling aura that surrounded the Curse of the Pharaohs. Number 6. The Curse of King Tutankhamun. In the shadowy aftermath of Tut's tomb opening, tales of his curse began to spread like whispers in the desert wind. This curse was cast upon anyone who dared disturb the rest of an ancient Egyptian pharaoh. From Lord Carnarvon's sudden and mysterious death to bizarre occurrences like the birdcage incident at Howard Carter's home, where a cobra claimed the life of Carter's canary, these events fueled the imagination of the public and sparked headlines around the world. Despite the lack of any inscribed curse within Tutankhamun's tomb itself, the deaths of the individuals associated with the excavation, including Carnarvon and others, added a grim layer to the unfolding drama. While skeptics and scholars dismissed the curse as superstition, people weren't convinced. The media frenzy around Tutankhamun's curse grew, thanks to figures like Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, who talked about elemental forces unleashed by the pharaoh's priests to guard his eternal slumber. Even modern studies have tried to rationalize the supposed curse, citing possible factors like toxic fungi. But none of that seemed to explain what happened to the people involved in the discovery. Number 7. A warning for Carter. Shortly after the tomb's opening, something strange happened at Carter's home in Luxor. A messenger returning to Carter's house reported hearing an almost human-like scream. On reaching the house, he made a chilling discovery. A deadly king cobra had slithered into Carter's birdcage. The cobra, the royal symbol of the Egyptian monarchy, had Carter's canary in its fangs. The cobra, known in Egyptian mythology as the uraeus, symbolized divine protection for pharaohs, adorning their crowns and tombs as a guardian against evil forces. So one can see why its presence in the context at Carter's home sent shivers through the community and fueled speculation about the power of ancient curses. Number 8. The late Earl of Carnarvon. In the aftermath of the discovery, George Herbert, the 5th Earl of Carnarvon and the expedition's financial backer, met a tragic and mysterious fate. Lord Carnarvon was the first to fall victim to the rumored curse. Just after the tomb's opening, he got bit on the face by a mosquito, which led to a severe case of blood poisoning. He passed just 6 weeks after the tomb was opened. The timing of Lord Carnarvon's demise, along with the circumstances surrounding it, only fueled the legends of the curse. Legend has it that upon Lord Carnarvon's death, a strange and unsettling event occurred. According to some accounts, all the lights in Cairo mysteriously went out at the moment of his passing. Lord Carnarvon's death, marked by the sudden extinguishing of lights, became a symbol in the ongoing narrative of the curse. Number 9. Sir Bruce Ingham and the Mummified Hand. Howard Carter decided to share a piece of his adventure with his friend Bruce Ingham. Carter gifted Ingham a mummified hand adorned with a bracelet inscribed with the chilling words, "Cursed be he who moves my body." Shortly after receiving the unsettling gift, Ingham's house mysteriously burned to the ground. When Ingham tried to rebuild his home, a flood came along. Whether these events were mere coincidence or the workings of a curse, they definitely added to the lore surrounding Tutankhamun's tomb and the supposed curse that seemed to follow those who disturbed the pharaoh's peace. It makes you wonder if some gifts are better left unopened, especially when they come with a foreboding message from ancient times. Number 10. Gould's Railway to the Underworld. George J. Gould, a prominent American financier and railroad executive, added another chapter to the curse of King Tut. In 1923, Gould decided to pay a visit to the famous site, probably intrigued by the hype surrounding the discovery. His visit took a turn for the worse almost immediately. Shortly after exploring the tomb, Gould fell gravely ill. What started as a sudden sickness quickly spiraled into something much worse, and despite his wealth and access to the best medical care, he couldn't shake off the illness. In just a few months, Gould succumbed to pneumonia, adding to the growing list of mysterious deaths linked to the tomb. Number 11. Aubrey Herbert and the Contagious Curse. Despite never stepping foot in the tomb, Aubrey Herbert, being Lord Carnarvon's brother, seemingly put him in the curse's crosshairs. Born with a degenerative eye condition, Herbert became completely blind later in life. Desperate for a cure, he followed a doctor's unusual advice that his rotten teeth might be affecting his vision. In a last-ditch effort to see again, Herbert had all his teeth pulled. Unfortunately for him, the drastic dental surgery didn't restore his sight. Instead, it led to a fatal case of sepsis. Number 12. Hugh White and the Curse of Fear. The dark secrets of Egyptian hieroglyphs, cursed inscriptions deciphered. Hugh Evelyn White, a British archaeologist, was deeply involved in the excavation of King Tut's tomb. By 1924, he had witnessed the string of deaths among his colleagues, nearly 24 of them. This relentless wave of fatalities took a heavy toll on him, leading him to believe that the legendary curse was real and had taken hold of those who had disturbed the ancient pharaoh's resting place. In a tragic turn of events, Evelyn White took his own life, convinced that he too was doomed by the curse. In a dramatic and chilling final act, he allegedly wrote in his own blood, "I have succumbed to a curse which forces me to disappear." His death added another haunting chapter to the growing legend of Tutankhamun's curse. Number 13. Aaron Ember and the Cursed Book. Burning down the house. Texas family burned down luxury home that hangs over 75 feet cliff. Aaron Ember, an American Egyptologist, had strong ties to the team that opened King Tut's tomb, including his friendship with Lord Carnarvon. In 1926, Ember hosted a dinner party at his Baltimore home. Less than an hour after his guests left, his house caught fire. In the chaos, his wife told him to save a manuscript he was working on while she went to fetch their son. Tragically, Ember, his wife, their son, and the family maid all perished in the blaze. What makes this story even more eerie is the title of Ember's manuscript, The Egyptian Book of the Dead. The coincidence of his death and the manuscript's subject matter only fueled the legend of the curse associated with King Tut's tomb. Number 14. The Secretary's Demise. Richard Bethel, Lord Carnarvon's secretary, was the first to follow Howard Carter into King Tut's tomb. In 1929, Bethel was found smothered in his room at an elite London gentlemen's club. Number 15. The Final Autopsy. As a radiologist, Sir Archibald Douglas Reed's involvement was limited to taking X-rays of King Tut's mummy before it was handed over to museum authorities. It seemed like a routine task, but things took a dark turn immediately after. The very next day, Reed fell mysteriously ill, and within 3 days, he was in HT morgue. Reed's sudden demise added another strange chapter to the already long list of those allegedly affected by the curse. His death confirmed the fear that anyone who came into contact with the Boy King's remains could be at risk. Skeptics might still argue it's all coincidence. The story of Sir Reed is often cited as one of the most inexplicable and direct cases of the supposed curse taking its toll. Number 16. The One Survivor. James Henry Breasted, an esteemed American archaeologist, seemed to be the one notable survivor among those involved with King Tut's tomb. Unlike many of his peers, Breasted never succumbed to a mysterious illness, nor did he face any bizarre, fiery disasters. He lived a relatively long life, passing away at 64 from lymphoma. His tombstone bears an inscription that reflects a serene and hopeful wish. May your spirit live. May you spend millions of years you who love Thebes, sitting with your face to the north wind, your eyes beholding happiness. It's intriguing to think that perhaps the pharaohs chose to spare Breasted from their supposed curse. His dedication to the field of Egyptology and his deep respect for ancient Egyptian culture might have earned him a pass from the ominous fate that befell so many others. Whether it's luck, coincidence, or something more mystical, Breasted's peaceful end stands out starkly against the backdrop of eerie deaths and disasters surrounding King Tut's tomb. Number 17. Influence on the modern world. The discovery of King Tut's tomb captivated the European and American public, giving the people their newest obsession. Newspapers were filled with stories of the treasures found in the tomb and the alleged curse that seemed to claim the lives of those involved in the excavation. This mystery was irresistible to the public, leading to a surge of interest in all things ancient Egyptian. People flocked to museums to see the artifacts, and Egyptian motifs even began to influence contemporary fashion and design. The supposed curse also added an element of excitement to the discovery. Tales of sudden deaths and unexplained illnesses intrigued the masses. The idea that an ancient curse could reach out and touch the modern world shocked people everywhere. Whether through newspaper articles, radio broadcasts, or word of mouth, the story of King Tut's tomb and its curse spread like wildfire, cementing its place in popular culture for generations to come. Number 18. The debunking attempt. Professor Georg Steindorf made a bold attempt to debunk the supposed curse of King Tutankhamun. As an experienced Egyptologist, Steindorf was skeptical of the curse, challenged its credibility. He studied the circumstances surrounding the deaths allegedly linked to the curse, studying medical records, historical accounts, and scientific data. Steindorf argued that many of the deaths attributed to the curse were either coincidental or had logical explanations rooted in medical science. He pointed out that Lord Carnarvon's death from blood poisoning could be traced to a mosquito bite he accidentally cut while shaving, an unfortunate but not supernatural event. Number 19. The answer. According to Ross Fellows' study published in the Journal of Scientific Exploration, some of the tragedies associated with those who entered the tomb may be linked to toxic radiation levels from uranium and other poisonous substances that have lingered since ancient times. For instance, Howard Carter, the archaeologist who first entered the tomb in 1922, later got Hodgkin's lymphoma, a cancer affecting the lymphatic system, often caused by radiation exposure. Similarly, Lord Carnarvon, who financed the excavation, succumbed to blood poisoning shortly after the tomb's opening, and British Egyptologist Arthur Weigel, known for popularizing the curse myth, passed of cancer at 54. Fellows suggests that the unusually high incidences of cancers among ancient and contemporary Egyptian populations associated with radiation exposure may provide a scientific basis for some of these tragic deaths. The presence of high radiation levels in other Egyptian tomb ruins further supports this hypothesis, challenging the notion of a supernatural curse. Number 20. The curse's legacy. Since the discovery of Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922, the notion of a curse associated with those who dared disturb the pharaoh's resting place has been a trend throughout pop culture. This fascination has manifested in numerous ways, from literature to film and beyond. Books and documentaries have chronicled the supposed curse, weaving tales of mysterious deaths and misfortunes that befell those involved in the excavation. In cinema, The Curse of King Tut has inspired countless adventure movies and thrillers where ancient curses threaten unsuspecting protagonists who dare to uncover buried secrets. These films often blend historical intrigue with supernatural elements, perpetuating the allure of Egypt's ancient mysteries. Moreover, the artifacts unearthed from Tutankhamun's tomb have toured the globe in the blockbuster museum exhibitions, drawing millions of visitors eager to witness firsthand the treasures associated with the legendary pharaoh. Do you think King Tut's curse is real? Let us know in the comments down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe while you're there.